Are we not supposed to talk?
Are we supposed to be quiet?
All right, gentlemen. Fire up.
I can't hear anything.
It's okay. It's probably because you've got it muted. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Reservist podcast where Navy talks. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Lieutenant Holbert. I'm going to quickly check that everything's running. Yep, everything is running. Okay, we're good. I'll be your host today. I am joined by my good friends and colleagues, Lieutenant Hooch, Rear Admiral Moose, Reservist Quinn, Ensign Monty, and Ensign Oakley.
I am not a bloody on.
Yes, you are. You haven't got a promotion yet. You are an ensign. This week's news 2.2.3 is live and includes a free flight week for all ships and sale of most. Remember to tell your friends and family members about this event, as it's a perfect opportunity to introduce them to the game. And 2.3 is live on the PTU, where the Starfarer is in the hangar and the car to all is flight ready. Now let's move on to the next part of the show, which is this week's shenanigans. What have we all been up to? Hooch, what have you been up to this week?
I have to be in Rory's defense here. He's a lieutenant junior grade. He's not an ensign.
He should be an ensign.
Well, I'm
a high admiral.
What have you been smoking to be high?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I gotta ask.
Okay, I'll quickly change it so it says
Okay. All right,
Lieutenant Junior. Okay,
All right.
then maybe he'll be happy.
Shenanigans this week. 2.2.3 came out, so I installed that, which was that's a shenanigan. Daredevil.
Yeah.
Season 2, yes.
Yeah.
That's out, so I'm watching that. Besides that, work mostly. I got a haircut.
I know.
So did I.
A very flashy haircut, Quinn.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Nice one. What about you, Moose? What have you been doing this week?
Basically, downloading 2.2 and 2.3 were highlights of the week. Other than that, it's just been the same old grind. I'm working a little bit on the video that I've been putting together.
Yeah.
So I've got everything up to the big combat scene, which is the part that we need bodies for, essentially.
Yes, we need people for that. General notice, anybody watching this, if you can help us, we need people to finish this off. We need to do a scene with quite a bit of combat in it, and we just need people who got a couple hours that can throw in, fly around a few ships, shoot at each other, get some footage. That's all we need.
I did put up a poll on the UENR Facebook page, so if you guys haven't seen that, I would suggest going onto the page and then voting which day you are actually free, because that really helps us. Even if you're not free, there is a selection there and an option for you just to say I'm not free for the weekend. It just lets us know that you have seen it and that you are able to either help or not help. So you don't have to commit. Just to say. Me, what have I been doing this week? I had my dad down today. I got drunk. I am kind of living with that right now. I may or may not be slightly drunk right now. I was watching the rugby though earlier, and it wasn't Wales. It was Wales. Absolutely destroyed Italy, and Ireland are absolutely destroying Scotland right now. And I think England is currently playing France, but England's won the Six Nations anyway, which is lovely. So that's what I... So that was what I was doing. I was getting very drunk. What about you, Oakley? What have you been doing this week?
Well, this week mainly I've been, raving about how England have beaten the shit out of Wales. God damn it, yes. Only way in life is to beat the crap out of a few Welshmen.
Yeah.
The more the better.
Nice.
But just to second that whole coming on to the video thing, because in fairness, Moose has put quite a lot of time into this now, and he's I can imagine him getting pretty fed up with this now because he's had nights where he's been able to do it, and only sort of 3 people have turned up. Where in reality we needed 4 or we needed 5, and it's been difficult. So he just for Moose's sake, we need to get this done really because he's going to
Sanity.
kill himself soon. Yeah, no, he's gonna. We are going to have to lock him up soon. It's bad.
Moose is slowly losing his mind.
We can send
I
them-
wasn't speaking slowly. I was speaking like 3 days time. He's gone. That's it.
That's it. He's gone. What about you, Quinn? What have you been doing this week?
Oh, not a whole lot. I had taken a break due to technical issues, so I hadn't been on Star Citizen in probably 9-10 months. So I had a lot to look around, and I was impressed with the progress that we've had, and just trying to catch up. And I'll volunteer anytime you guys need me to help out with the video and stuff. Just let me know.
Well, we've got one more person. Note that down.
Yeah.
Nice. And Monty, what have you been doing this week?
I was not watching the rugby, and I had a delightful sandwich on Tuesday.
What was in the sandwich?
Chicken and bacon.
Was there any particular sauce, or was it just chicken and bacon?
What kind of bread?
Well, I say it like
I mean-
it's just chicken. Chicken and bacon is pretty epic, but did you have anything particular with
I
the chicken?
think there was some really good mayonnaise in there. as
Good
well.
man.
What kind of
bread?
chicken? Is it hen or cock?
With Rory, it's probably going to be cock because we all
Yeah.
know he likes cock.
Good bit of cock in his mouth.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I would, but I think Booch already all had all of that. So
I don't want the cock, mate.
well, I have to stop playing jazz music very loudly.
Not yet. That's one part of the live stream.
Not got that far yet.
We haven't got that far yet. So we've had a pretty good week, which is awesome. Monty's eaten a lot of cock, which is no surprise. Let's move on to the next part of this show, which is the topic of the week. And this week we're talking about the Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is around the verse.
And 2.3.
And 2.3, which is something that Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy was actually introduced in the last, well, not the last, but the one before the last, around the verse, and that was a really nice addition to the show because it actually is starting to build out the verse, which is something which is really cool. So what do we think about it? How many people have watched the recent around the verse?
I liked this week's. Vegas was really interesting. I thought a lot of information, as it's very central to the whole Squadron 42.
Yeah.
The whole Vega thing's going to be, and having that information on Vega, the little details they're thrown in, it's fantastic to actually, somebody walking us through that's actually writing the material, because I'm sure they're letting us know more than what we can read right now. So
Yeah. Moose, have you seen around the verse at all?
I have, and it is pretty cool. I've been enjoying the little snippets.
Yeah, they actually have been improving around the verse a lot since especially if you look at kind of like the first season compared to now, the way it's been bulked out and the way that it flows, I feel is so much better than what it used to be.
But they finally released the content. Like I said, they've been kind of welling up a lot of this stuff where they haven't been showing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're letting little bits slip out, at least finally. I'm kind of happy about that.
Okay, awesome. Quinn, have you been watching around the verse, or have you not been up to date with the news for a while?
I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah. I must admit, around the verse is pretty bloody good now. Like, I would say that's probably the best way to get all the information recently is around the verse, because it's all like compacted into video form. It's a fantastic way to get all the new information. What about you, Oakley? Have you watched the most recent around the verse?
I'm still catching up from episode 1.
Episode 1.
you spoon.
I tell you what.
What else do you got to do?
Yeah.
I have a life, unlike the rest of you people.
Hey, I have a life,
Yeah.
just not a very active one.
Harrison likes riding those stallions. Harrison has had a very busy time riding those stallions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I only work with geldings. You know, because they're much easier to be told because you can tell them what to do and order them around a little bit. Bit more
Aren't those
submissive.
like
You know?
aren't those like the elf creatures from Dark Crystal?
No, those are stallions, but when you brutally cut off their bulls,
Oh,
those
Nice.
ones.
Geldings. I thought those were like the
So
little
Harrison's a
elf
bit of
creatures.
a dom.
a dominatrix for horse. Is that?
I am a don. I prefer the title pimp, but we can go with don.
So you're a horse pimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah,
You heard it here
they have a
first.
bit. They have a bit instead of a ball gag. So.
Yeah.
God.
No one thinks weirdly about it because they're always in use.
Wow. And Monty, I dare to ask, have you watched the recent Around the Versus?
No. I don't.
No, I don't think so. For goodness sake, man. You have one goddamn job throughout the
It's
entire
hard. It's
week.
hard to see outside of an inflatable gimp suit.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right.
I'm going to request permission to use that at a later date.
What, for your horses? Your inflatable gimp suit for the horse.
Well, you know, there is a
Harrison might have
market for
problems
it.
getting it past his leather straps.
I'm sure I can work something out with a little bit of tightening and, you know, that sort of job.
Bloody hell. And 2.3.
2.3. So
2.3.
they've got the Starfarer in Hangar, which the videos of that look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That really is huge. I mean, you can have. I remember back in like Medal of Honor days, whole levels being the same size as that damn ship.
Yeah.
Running around inside it is basically it's an old level from like Doom or something, you know, one of the multiplayer levels.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then it's got the Car2 Owl, which is now flyable,
It's a beautiful ship.
which is fantastic. The animations
like
they've
it's-
done for landing.
Looks like a transformer.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah, it's insane. Like the way it animates from landing mode to flying mode is incredible. It's such a beautiful ship, and it's so well designed. Kudos to whoever designed it because it's amazing. It's so well designed.
there is the side of it where it was originally said that it was going to be a 2-seater, but they've come out with a 1-seater instead, and I understand some people are a little bit annoyed with that, but things change.
Yeah.
You know, things get changed. It's still in development.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
The way I see it is that nothing is final until they say it's final.
Pretty
So,
much.
You know,
And then it's probably not final anyway.
yeah, exactly. So 2.3 is out, as Hooch said. I haven't actually
On the PTU.
on the PTU. What is 2.2.3 then?
2.2.3, all right. Now that's live right now. 2.2.2, then we went 2.2.3. Mostly bug fixes.
Yeah.
You know, to stop with crashing and stuff like that. It does seem to be running pretty smooth right now. I've only had one crash out, and that was when I was messing around with a Cutlass Black earlier today. So, Cutlass Black, no problem ship anyways, but yeah, it seems to be pretty stable.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the EVA work they've done. I mean, EVA is working really sweet now.
Yeah. Yeah. I must admit, the fixes that they put in 2.2 for the EVA is so much better than what the original EVA is. It actually feels like controllable now. It feels as
They
though you
gotta
can-
fix some of the doors and stuff at Kovalex, though.
Yeah, but I think that
Oh,
is
please.
that's coming in with a new interaction 2.0 or item 2.0 as they're calling it, which is they're changing they're completely changing the way you interact with options, which I'm glad because it will just make it so much easier and run just so much smoother in terms of interacting with items, which will be lovely. So yeah, I think 2.3. I think when it comes to the content inside it, I guess some people were kind of looking for some more. I mean, I myself thought that might.
Remember, it's PTU right now.
Yeah.
So the actual release when it goes live, a lot more could come into it.
Because the way that I've seen that they're doing now is that every time they got a new, so they've had 2.2 and a lot was introduced in 2.2. I kind of believe that they might be going on roll with that. So 2.3, I honestly believe that 2.3 might increase player count, might get new weapons, might get new FPS animations, and obviously we've got the new ships. And I mean, you definitely can't say anything bad about the freaking Starfarer Gemini. That ship is amazing. What was it? They had 30-minute episode of them just walking around this bloody ship. And it's huge.
Right.
It's freaking huge. It's a 30-minute episode of them walking around this ship. So, I mean, God forbid what the freaking Idris is like. It's crazy. It's just crazy the amount of detail they're putting in this ship. So, I mean, I wish that I had a Starfarer Gemini. But I mean, I'm kind of glad that I've got the ships I have, and the Cartual looks beautiful. So yeah, I mean 2.3 at the moment as it stands. I mean, I'm definitely not saying that I'm not impressed, because every time they make a new patch, everything gets improved and it feels so much better. But I'm hoping that there is maybe a little bit more. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but yeah. Oakley. Have you managed to download anything recently, which is
Well, if I have a quick look, I am left with about 100 megabytes worth of download for the 2.2.3.
Mm-hmm.
But I have played the 2.2.2.
Mm-hmm.
So many numbers.
Yeah.
I really liked it, actually. Like you say, every time they bring out a new update, it's always brilliant.
Numbers hard.
If you believe it, I did A-level physics.
And now it's numbers.
I know.
That quote to UEENR. Good job, Robert.
No, it is good. It's just I liked it. I like the saber. I like all that thing. I haven't actually had a laser rifle yet. I haven't been committed enough to put in enough effort for that. Also, the fact that they sped up the
How are you trying
the
to get
M50?
laser rifle?
I actually don't know. That's why I haven't tried.
Just go out to Kovalex, run through to Kovalex, that last room where you get the good ending, the one you have to click on the last PDA and then it unlocks that room, the bedroom. There's a laser rifle in there.
Yeah.
Works pretty good.
Right.
We had trouble with the
Beautiful
door
as well.
though. That was the only thing.
I must admit,
no, fair enough.
I really do like the laser rifle. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. It's the first weapon we've actually had like a sight on as well. So it's nice to see like the customization that's going to be coming in with FPS weapons as of such. That'll be really nice. Moose, have you had the invite, or what are your thoughts on 2.3?
I don't have enough seniority to receive invites that early. Usually they go to live before they come to me.
Yeah.
I'm like 200 or Citizen like 200 or 300,000 or something. So.
Yeah, same. I remember when 2.0 came out, just waiting for the invites for that was painful enough. But yeah, I must admit the way that they're pushing out patches now was lovely. It just seems much faster. And, it doesn't take as long, which I guess QA.
Hate it.
You hate it. It will get faster though. I guarantee you, they'll get to a point where they're just pushing out patches and they're just fully complete.
I really,
Yeah, but that's
really
because he's
hate
got a
it.
hand crank for his internet,
How are those
Fucking
hamsters
irritating.
holding up, Harrison?
Well, the problem is today I would have been able to get the 1.3 gigabytes done in about hour and a half, 2 hours. But it's saying 3 hours at the moment because
Your hamsters aren't
one
running
of the
fast
3
enough.
hamsters have died.
That's why.
I worked him too hard.
You need to get like 100 meg download.
What's that, like 300 hamsters then?
That is it.
Here in the British countryside, we don't get that sort of speed.
Actually, it's about 4,000 guinea pigs.
Guinea.
They have a longer stride.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of the pigeon net.
Pigeon net. Transferring data over carrier pigeon.
You joke about that. It would actually be faster than my current internet speed.
Right, same for me. It would actually be faster. Oh.
When Squadron 42 comes out, you guys are going to have to send me USBs via carrier pigeon, and then I'd have to download the files for you, and then send them back via carrier pigeon.
I've got an SS. I've got like a external hard drive which I was supposed to be using, but it just hasn't been used.
Mm.
Yeah, but I don't have anything that has anything anywhere near 100 gigabytes worth of data storage other than the hard drive.
Yeah.
It's alright. I'll spend the money. I'll put a bit of money in there for him so he can post it back.
I'm keeping that money.
You can.
That's
Still
my
gotta post it
that's
back.
my that's my
Food
fee.
allowance for the month.
Yeah, that's my food allowance for the year.
Oi, Harrison, stop playing Binding of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac's a good game. It's a good game.
What? It's actually a Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, and it's a shared game from Arthur Grattan. Would you believe it, Rory? And how in God's name do you know I'm playing Binding of Isaac?
It's called Steam, Harrison.
Rory,
You know.
Stop playing on fucking Steam, Rory.
Rory, have you had the chance to play 2.3, or what are your views on 2.3?
I hear it's very nice, but 2 of my hamsters were shot for cowardice. Another one got sepsis, and I'm fairly sure the last one is in Barbados. Yeah.
Well, your hamsters have had a hard time of it this month.
Yeah. I mean, when there was that electrical fire, it wasn't great either. Many hamsters.
It's freaking. I love the conversations we have sometimes. Now we move on to the next.
Sometimes they really worry me.
Yeah, the conversations do. Yeah, although I think I've kind of got used to the fact that we're never ever going to have an entire show where the conversation sticks to a particular event or topic. So now
that's just a thing.
now we're gonna go over to the next part of the show, which is the guest chat. And today we've had the privilege of having our guest today be Reservist Quinn. Thank you very much for coming on today, Mr. Quinn. We've got a few questions to ask you, if that's okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So the first question today is, when did you first discover Star Citizen?
Probably about a year and a half ago. There's a bunch of people I bumped into that were telling me how great it was, and I logged into it and experienced the hell of trying to get into Arena Commander.
Oh God, I remember that.
We know the pain.
I kind of fell in love with the flight physics and everything, and really liked it a lot. Then I came across a little hard drive failure, and then when I went to go reload it on, the installer was bugged out and wouldn't let me get onto it. So I kind of gave up until probably last week when I decided to give it a whirl again. And to my amazement, there was way more than Arena Commander. They had gotten the PvP stuff going, and a whole lot more ships for me to try out. So I'm quite pleased. I've been, much to the dismay of my kids and wife, attention to them.
You got to have priorities.
Yeah. So, but yeah, me and Moose were flying around before, and me and Christopher, and I enjoy the aspect of being able to do things together. On some of the multi-crew ships, it was pretty fun. So I've been having fun with it.
Awesome. And Hooch, do you want to ask the next question?
Yeah. What was the first ship you bought, purchased, pledged for?
The 325 Alpha.
Okay.
Interdict.
Wow, that's good shit. That's good shit. What made you purchase it? What made you want to purchase that particular ship?
Because I was in TeamSpeak and just listening to people rattle off, and I probably should have done more research on it.
I don't know. At the time when we were all starting with Arena Commander and stuff, nobody really knew what direction it was going to go. So
And to be fair, I think a lot of the ships probably weren't available either back then. I mean, a year and a half ago was...
You had 300 series, Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
I think M50 was just about coming about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the M50.
Yeah, there
So
wasn't that many ships.
I just upgraded this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to flying my new Gladius.
Nice. Pretty much leads on to the next question. Rory, do you want to ask the next question? If you've got the Google Docs open. Oh God, what is he doing?
I would, but there's no link.
Do you not have the Google Docs open? There is a link. I posted it in the podcast chat.
Would you want me...
Okay, Oakley, do you want to ask the next question, and then Rory can get up the podcast chat?
Depends what question we're on.
Oh my goodness, we're on question number
Question
3.
3.
My answer is
Three.
my
What
answer
ships
is
do you own now?
right now I just own one fighter, the Gladius.
Okay, awesome. Are you planning on branching out maybe, or are you waiting until the verses actually?
I've been trying some of the other ones, but wife and children prohibit me to have as many ships as Christopher up there does. So I think I'll kind of stick with what I got from now, and then.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I did have a wife and children, but I had priorities and got rid of them.
But I figure this will get me started, and when I get a better handle on everything, then I can make a more informed choice, even if it's within world money when the game starts.
Yeah, just obviously all ships are going to be able to be purchased within the actual verse, so,
The good part about the org system, though, is that might open up that ability a lot sooner than you'd think. With a lot of the guys having multiple ships, some of the people out there actually are planning on turning their ships over to the organization, so then the organization can distribute them as needed for usage, which is a pretty good system.
That should be Organization 2.0, shouldn't it? When that comes about.
It's whenever they make it happen.
Yeah. Next question, Rory.
What feature would you like to see introduced into the game in the near future?
What feature?
Just general
The
game
build-
features.
The ability to lock my damn ship so that when I go to get my stuff, people aren't taking off with it.
Nice plan.
Yeah.
I have been the victim of many Grand Theft Autos.
It happens a lot in the verse right now. There's a lot of theft.
I would think that another thing that would be great is more of maybe an in-game voice chat feature. I would, as opposed to having to constantly pull up my chat window.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm just trying to get the basics. I'm sure people have already thought about everything I could think of.
Okay. Moose, would you like to ask the next question?
Boobies. I'd like to see more boobies.
I would love to see more boobs as well. Yeah.
I would love to see more movies.
So they need like an alien brothel station.
that needs to happen.
That's my answer. I want a brothel.
An alien brothel.
Yes.
If you could have any particular race brothel, what would it be?
One with 4 boobies.
Do they have 4 booby races at the moment?
I don't know.
What the hell do Banu have?
Do Banu even have nipples?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
is
know.
I think there was
Are they even mammalian?
You don't need nipples to have boobies.
Okay, this is one thing we need to put on the forums. Moose, next question.
All right. What roles are you going to be playing in the verse?
Right now, I'm kind of focused on like a fighter pilot kind of role, but I'd be willing to do whatever best suits the organization.
Okay. So we have actually quite a lot of roles. So I mean, I guess there is a ton that was going to happen in the verse anyway. So, you know.
I guess let's try it this way. Um, engineering, mining, transportation, fighting, and
Cabin
probably
Medical.
cabin boy, medical,
Mm-hmm.
FPS player. So, of all those, is there any that particular one that kind of intrigues you a little bit more than the other one, kind of a thing?
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
probably more into the fighting arena. My ADD won't support mining.
Yeah.
I'd have to
repair.
take medication for that.
You could always
Yeah,
be a
rip-
deckhand in the Ark Royal. Plenty of explosions.
No.
Mostly
No.
the Ark Royal.
Yeah.
I like exploring. I mean, it's a combination of both. You know, I enjoy the dog fighting and the blowing shit up, but you know, I also like tooling around and exploring new stuff.
Recon, then. You're pretty good at reconnaissance. Except you'd be very, very loud. Very loud reconnaissance.
Because of my voice.
Isn't
Just
that
the
only
explosions.
reconnaissance?
Loud
Yeah,
reconnaissance, yeah.
Reconnaissance is interesting too. Like I said, you know, it all kind of depends on when we get started where the empty spots are. You know, I mean, you can't have everybody doing one thing, obviously.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind having multiple roles if it's necessary to help out the group.
Yeah.
Team player.
He's a team player.
Good
There we go.
man. That's what we like.
All right. What's next?
The next question is, what are you most excited for? What are you most excited about for Star Citizen?
Oh, I think it's a game ahead of any other games.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know, I think we've all kind of gone through the evolution of all the different games we play, but you know, there's just so many aspects of it. It's kind of like you know, a game on steroids. You like flying, you can fly. You like being on ground, first person shooter, you can do that. You know, you like, I mean, there's something for everybody. And, you know, the different roles. You like being in a military kind of group, you can do that. You want to be on your own and be a pirate, you can do that. I mean, I think just the fact that there's so many different things, there's a spot for everybody, which is going to make the game that much better because it's going to draw more people in to play it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very good point.
Very good point. Very good point. If you could choose, obviously, between what thing you'd want first in the verse. So, for example, if you could have capital ships or mining or exploration in the game first, which one would you like to see come in first?
I guess it depends on what you're planning to do. I mean, I'd like to see both of that happen at the same time because obviously the mining is going to be what's going to get you the money that you need. But I think the capital ships, where it has the ability for the fighters to deploy off it, and I think it's necessary to kind of get the group started. You have to have those bigger ships so that you have a base of operations for people to work out of. So I guess it all depends on whether you're going to play as a single person or you're going to play as a group, and I prefer the playing as a group.
Okay, awesome. Harrison, would you like to take the next question?
I would very much like to take this next question. What ship would you race in the Murray Cup and why?
None of them right now, unless they got autopilot, because I keep crashing. I haven't
The
done a
correct
lot of
answer is
racing, so-
Idris.
The Constellation.
The Constellation. Well, fair enough.
I think that's a very good choice, a proactive choice.
No, that could work very
Choice
well.
fly.
You never know. Might be a very good Constellation racer. We just don't know it yet.
I still think that Starfarer racing is going to be a thing. I really do. No, I think it was mentioned in ATV or around Reverse to Verse this week. They were already mentioning.
Wow. Can it even fit through like the racing ring?
I don't think it would be that kind of racing. Not on the
actually, you got to think outside the
but
box. You just got to spit on it and push harder.
yeah.
Put some butter on the outside of the ship or something.
Get a bit of oil on it and a bit of butter.
You're not
You'll
going
be
to
alright.
keep a brick of butter at the side at the ready, are you?
Aim for the hole.
Yeah.
We're racing Starfares and we're going in dry.
I think you'd be racing lube farers at that point.
I haven't spent a lot of time with the whole racing aspect of it. I probably should, but I've been.
It's good for a laugh right now, and you know.
I've been enjoying blowing shit up. So.
Yeah, blowing shit up's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But racing
when
should
they
be
balance
really
the
good.
ships more, it'll be much
Yeah,
better.
I think once they've actually got racing content in the game and it's not just one map, and they've actually got more ships, then I think it should be a very enjoyable experience. And rather than what it is kind of now, which is just load into a map, you go around the track 3 times, and then you either come in first place or you explode. But yeah, it should be fun. Hooch, would you like to ask the next question?
Your ship has been disabled and your comms are down. What do you do?
You gank somebody else's ship.
Oh my god!
My answer would have been get on TeamSpeak.
Nah. Find a nice space to hide while someone comes out and lands somewhere, and then you steal their shit.
Oh yeah,
That's
it usually works.
and hurry
bloody
up.
good.
And hurry up before they get on TeamSpeak and start following you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bloody good answer. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Got to do whatever it takes to complete your mission.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good man. Good man.
Moose, would you like to ask the next question?
Earth or Terra? What's your preferred?
Terra.
Ooh.
And
You know that's
Little
really
colonies.
fucking controversial, right?
Ask me why.
Special
Ask me why.
Go.
Why?
Go.
Why?
Yeah.
Because
Because
my
you're
wife's, my
American.
wife's on Earth. So I could get away with more on Terra.
That's a bloody good answer.
That is fine.
That's fucking good. I think that's the best answer we've ever had to that question. I can't. That was bloody
I
amazing.
think you're right, actually. It probably is as well.
It would make more sense if you met my wife.
Monty, next question.
She's Hispanic and has a machete.
That's terrifying.
I don't want to meet her now.
That is terrifying.
I don't want to be a gelding.
Harrison might ride you if you're not careful. Next
I reckon I'd
question.
be kinder than my wife.
Will you be a law-abiding or law-breaking citizen?
A what?
A law-abiding or a law-breaking citizen?
In the military, I got to follow the rules. Law-abiding, I would say, unless.
He's taken the middle here. See how he's
Unless I was given
avoided the question.
Well, no. Who's making the laws?
Also,
Empire.
are you a lawbreaker if you don't get caught?
No.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Well, I guess seeing as our org follows the Empire, I'm pretty sure we'll just follow exactly what the Empire does. I mean, we're going to have some of our own rules, of course, like no ramming Redeemers, Monty.
I'll obey any lawful order.
Curtis, I would point out I'm not going to ram them. I'm going to use high explosive shells. There's a real difference.
Cannot engage law-abiding Redeemers, Monty.
But the issue is they're not law-abiding if they're piloting a Redeemer. They're obviously psychopaths ready to strike.
right.
God damn it, man!
Yes.
I was on a podcast with Traz, and one of the guests, well, one of the co-hosts said, I'm surprised we haven't heard more about the Redeemer, and I laughed because I thought of you.
And we were exploding in the chat because we wanted him to start talking about how much salt can a Redeemer carry.
So much salt. So much salt.
A Redeemer cannot carry the burden. A Redeemer
Of salt.
will crush.
Okay, next question. Do you think the UEE will pay for Vandal kills?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Well, that's fair enough.
Fucking brilliant.
But do you think
If they are going to pay, I'm going to kill some to see if it works.
Yeah, fair enough. But obviously, do you believe that the UEE may be putting bounties out there for film like HVTs and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think there'll be bounties.
Yeah, cool. Next question, Moose.
Okay, so this one you have to pick one character, and it's from the Star Trek series. So Captain Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Sulu, Chekhov, Yura, or Scotty. Basically, which one of those do you feel represents you the most, or the player that you'd like to be?
McCoy,
Okay, why is that?
because he's a wise ass, but the captain won't fuck with him.
Nice. That's a pretty good answer. I enjoyed that. Was good. Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, how come there's two of them there without their video on? That's messed up.
Video's messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're cowards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel occasionally. Thank you.
Monty doesn't have a webcam.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He just chooses not to use it. And Moose doesn't have a webcam.
No, it's on my laptop.
Right.
My laptop's
And
good.
I have a Mac, so I'm a lad.
You're not a lad if you have a Mac. That's completely the
I have a
opposite of what a
PC
lad
here
is.
as well.
That's called being morally depraved.
Mm-hmm.
It was deprived, Rory. You got it right the first time. So.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions
Let's-
I have? All questions, because I'm so new to everything. I'm still learning a little bit about everything.
Okay. Well, what do you want to learn about? Just ask any question.
I would say, what's the main vision that y'all have for the group that you're playing in?
Moose, you're an admiral. Answer.
Yeah, come on, Moose.
Okay. So, as I've put it in the past, the vision is that the UEENR, or any affiliated squadron with it, will be a continuation of your Navy career from Squadron 42. So you play through your Navy career in Squadron 42, reach the end of it, of the campaign, where then we're put out into the PU, and basically we pick up from there and we keep the ball rolling. That's the intent, I think, overall, of where the UENR is and what we'll be doing. So going after Vandal parties, if we hear about Vandal raids or attacks on settlements out in the outer rims of the verse, escorting, maybe high value targets, or in this case, would say like refuelers or gold mining operations, if they're taking high value cargoes from one place to another, that kind of team oriented play.
What Moose said. Pretty much, yeah. It's just kind of doing what the normal Navy would do, but as a reservist force. So I would say that we're almost more elite because we're veterans. So we have the experience to back it up, I guess. Whether that's completely true or not is up for debate, but yeah, I would say pretty much what Moose said.
So which is going to be the best ship to serve on?
The Ark Royal.
No,
No.
definitely not the Ark Royal.
That is
And I say no.
that is going to be determined, TBD, I think, because what would be cool is if we could make that something like a competition amongst the fleet, where we have, what is the best ship to serve on and that kind of stuff. But initial startup idea is that when we get into doing crewing of capital ships, we're all going to start on the Patriarch, and then we'll be divided out from it. So everybody gets on it, trains with it, figures out how things work for whatever position is they want to do. Then they split out to the fleet from that ship, kind of a thing.
My biggest thing I like to see with any group, because in games that I've played along the line, is when new players start coming on. Say, we're 6 months, a year into the game after release, and new players show up. How are you going to approach those people? Because historically, a lot of times the new people coming in just get left to figure stuff out by themselves instead of people taking them under their wing and training them to be a productive part of the organization. So how are you going to attack like new people coming in
Well,
after everything starts?
I guess I'm probably the best to kind of answer this question because I'm the recruitment officer. So my job is when a person first applies is I pretty much see what their skills are, what they are. So I look through their application, I see if they're fit enough, fit enough, if they kind of suit the role of this organisation, if they're going to suit a particular squadron. Then what I do is I get them on TeamSpeak and I interview them, and from there it's not so much an interview because I pretty much already accepted them by then if I'm going to interview them. It's more of a where do I think they're going to fit in best within a squadron. Now obviously my word isn't final. If they want to go into a different squadron altogether, they can do that. And if they feel as if somewhere down the line they want to move to a different squadron, that's completely how they want to. As for 6 months down the line, obviously when the game is fully out, it will pretty much be the same thing. They'll go through a basic boot camp, pretty much. So I'll recommend them obviously to a certain squadron. From there they'll go through basic boot camp, which is where everyone will pretty much go through, and then they'll go into specialised boot camps for their specialised roles, in which squadrons will be run through certain lieutenants and that kind of thing. But yeah, if they ever want to move squadron, that's completely fine because everyone will pretty much through basic boot camp be going through pretty much the same training. So everyone will serve on board a capital ship. Everyone will be taught squadron flying. Everyone will be taught first-person combat, that kind of thing. So everyone's proficient in everything, and then you'll be trained more specifically on the area you wish to go into. So that's the plan anyway. There could be changes, there could be multiple stuff, but
also that whole boot camp thing is pretty much designed to build our teamwork on a steady level, so that we have a whole level where every player in the whole organization, anybody who gets together, can play on that level, and we want that level to be as high as possible to start with, so that we are considered the elite group. You see a group of us, it doesn't matter if you think, oh yeah, he hasn't played with him before, or he may not have played with the other guy before, so we might be okay. We want everybody to think, oh shit, these guys are here, we need to get out of here. That is the if you're not doing the right things, you leave. That's a kind of the impact we want, or at least I want people to fear me. I want like a big brother.
He's
to
a
stand
psychopath.
behind, I want to be he's a little brother creeping over the big brother's shoulder, like, don't fuck with me. I won't fuck with you. Fuck with me because you fuck with you.
This is why I don't trust the executive cabin boy on the Ark Grill.
He's gonna hide behind you. Is that what?
It is the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
It's
when
funny.
we hail someone, we're gonna have a big screen like in the Enterprise, and he's gonna be there like, "Good evening, good son." I'm gonna be over his shoulder like, "Don't fuck with us."
Have you ever seen Futurama?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember what's his name?
Everybody.
No. The little green guy and the Kirk kind of guy from what's his name? Zach Brannigan and his little green guy who follows him around. He's the little green guy.
Are you saying that Oakley has cartoon hair?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is.
Because you're worth it.
Hey,
L'Oreal.
I use conditioner.
On the mustache, you need to condition mustaches. Most definitely. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have planned for recruits. And if ever a time they want to move squadron, that's completely fine to them. And as for fitting in, we're all a nice bunch of people. So
Well,
it-
no,
Well,
no
you
one's
know,
been
with
anything but
exception to
helpful
Monty.
so far. So
good. I'm glad they have. That's kind of the impact that we want to have. We don't want people to feel left out. It doesn't matter whether you joined yesterday or joined years ago. If you join, we all like to feel like a part of a good group. So that is the plan. Anyway, we insult each other most of the time, but it's all in good faith.
We all love each other, really.
Except
Or
you,
we
Oakley. Except you. You're the black sheep
We
of
all
us
have-
all.
See, the black sheep is usually the leader, but unfortunately they're suppressing the black sheep. I feel like one day they're going to open up their minds and think, shit, what have we been doing wrong?
Why didn't we get rid of him ages ago?
This...
Why did I accidentally shoot him while we were planetside?
all these
I'll
English
say you'll
accents
regret
makes me
living
feel like
for-
I'm watching a Harry Potter movie.
You are. It's Harry
It's
Potter
because
and...
the particular ones that you're talking to are all posh boys.
Hey, I'm
So-
not posh. Okay, I'm anything but posh.
Excuse me, good sir. Would you please pass me the teacups?
Yes.
Yes. To be honest,
Pardon me while I
I'm
just have my
drinking...
moth gun.
I say I'm drinking
Harrison's
PG
not.
tips. That's nothing particularly posh.
Harrison's up there enjoying a
Well-
nice box of wine.
No, that's
What are you talking
Coca-Cola.
about? That's Ribena.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that'll be a bottle, thank you. Proper bottle, boy.
What's
Hey,
the age?
I got me a box of sangria.
See,
So
I
here
have
in
the
the Morrison
of
estate, we drink
Pinot
the
Noir.
finest Labrador
This is
cider.
if I can open it here. This is how you do it.
Oh, no, in fairness.
That's cool.
Damn it. There we go. Well, never mind. My shit's too tight to open. My wife must have took pliers to. There we go.
Ah, nice. Awesome. What do you have in there, Quinn? What's in there?
Moonshine.
Moonshine shit.
Actually, it's some Jamesons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jameson whiskey. Yeah, that's good. Whiskey and Coke? Do you drink whiskey, or is it just straight whiskey?
Ooh.
No, just straight whiskey, yeah.
It's rum
I don't-
and coke if you're gonna go
I don't
for
even.
it.
I don't even use ice. I use those whiskey stones.
That's straight whiskey. That's insane.
Have a glass of whiskey.
I
and you have
I
to
only
glass
drink
of-
whiskey when I want to forget the last year.
What, so you only want to remember things from when you were 5?
No,
you so much.
no, I don't want to remember anything at all.
Do me a favor, Harrison. Pick up your wine glass. Okay, does he have the pinky out?
No, it doesn't have to be. It's
No,
actually holding it.
that's with the tea. You got a teacup. You got a tea mug.
So there you go. There you go.
There you go.
There
Yeah,
you
there
go.
it is.
That's how you properly do it.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, and then it's got to be up like that as well. There you go.
And from a conversation from earlier, because we got people here from England, all right, how many times have you ever heard anybody, would you like a spot of tea?
Is this on a daily basis or a weekly basis?
You never hear anybody say spot of tea.
Well, since I got one, two,
No, I've
three,
never heard anyone
since I got
say a spot.
since I got 3 of you on there, what the fuck's a crumpet?
I
know.
particularly
fucking best
hate
things in the
crumpets.
world.
I hate crumpets so much. They are vile. I
think that-
hate them.
Curtis, Curtis
The best-
is what we know.
Hit the respawn.
Curtis is a damn traitor and will be shot and thrown out of the
I
house.
hate crumpets. They are disgusting. Now,
So is it
scone-
true that you
unmarked
guys?
grave.
Scones are amazing, but crumpets suck. All right,
They
I'm
are
sorry.
scones, and
As-
they
It's
are.
scone. It's not scone. It's a scone.
It's scone.
As
It's
Brits,
a
Fucking
scone.
how many
It's a
times a week do you
scone.
throw some shrimp on the Barbie?
That's Australian.
That's Australian.
That's completely different continent.
Go and ask the bleeding
That's
culture.
We
right.
must unite the species against this man.
That's where you sent all your criminals.
Yeah, well, we used
They had
to
to originally
anyway.
come there from somewhere.
I tell you what, the
Yeah,
criminals
dude.
have a better bloody life than we do. They got friggin' sun, they have barbecues, surfing.
Fucking
Fucking
asshole.
none of that over here.
Yeah, we have tea.
As hard-working men and women. Not quite so hard-working men.
You don't know anything about hard work. You're a student. So
Yeah.
They don't have crumpets. They have Twinkies.
I know shit
There you
about
go.
hard-working. I just don't do it.
Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, let's take a look. Okay, the next part of the show is the ship of the week, and it's that time of the show again where we rely on the ship stats page, and as always, the ship stats page is not 100%, so take nothing I say as 100%. Take everything as words. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt, because nothing.
Right, disclaimer Mark 2.
Okay, here we go. All right,
We can just get this to.
go on, Monty. Give the disclaimer. Go on.
Be up in a sec. I'm just having to play with my volume.
No, I've got the music. You just give the disclaimer, okay? I've got the Monty. Get rid of the music.
Oh.
I've got the music.
Remember, everything you read on the stats page is 100% true and factual, and is never, ever wrong.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So as you heard, Monty was the one that says that. So all complaints should be presented towards Rory Morrison at what is it at BT
The
Internet?
Ark Royal does.
What's it?
It's at the HMS Ark Royal. We're currently docked at Terror, unfortunately.
Okay.
I do need new fire lighting material. So,
Any
please send me
complaints?
paper for that.
Any complaints should be headed towards Rory Morrison at HMS Ark Royal in Tara. So the Caterpillar is a ship created by Drake Interplanetary. So it's already pretty much got that that bad rep, I guess, to be a pirate ship, I guess, or related to pirates. The description is: Drake maintains that the Caterpillar, a sprawling modular spacecraft which appears at least somewhat like its namesake, is for legitimate commerce and extended search and rescue missions, aka bullshit. But at the end of the day, the Caterpillar is truly the evil twin of the Freelancer, so they pretty much already admitted it. The Caterpillar is meant to be the pirates' version of kind of transport and that kind of thing. So let's take a look at the technical overview. It says the primary engines, we have TR5, two TR5 engines. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 TR2 thrusters. We have one size 5 power plant, and that's pretty much the propulsion. And then the hard points, we have 4 size 4 gimbal mats. We have one to be disclosed pylon mat, and we also have another to be disclosed unmanned turret. It has a size 5 shield, and I think I don't know what it is. Apparently we have one bit of additional equipment. It doesn't say what that is, but I guess that's just the modularity of the ship. So, what do we think about the Drake Caterpillar, guys? Anybody?
How heavy is it?
How heavy is it?
How heavy is it? Don't play that fucking card with me.
Okay, that's it's 84,516 kilograms. How many bags of sugar is that? That's
well, if a bag of sugar is a kilogram, that's 84,516.
Yeah, but you can get like 300 grams of sugar in the UK. So that's...
Well, it depends on the bag.
We can get a teaspoon of sugar.
We can.
A teaspoon.
That's pathetic.
Go down. I'm sorry.
Oh god. Singing Mary Poppins. I think we need to ban him immediately.
Let's be honest. Mary Poppins and ABBA.
Oh my god, he likes ABBA as well. Shit. God.
Please. I was joking.
Oh god. I don't think I can do this anymore.
Harrison is officially a menopausal woman and a puberty brat at the same time. This is both disheartening
and yet you've still got bigger tits than me, Rory.
Wow. Personal attacks with the UEENR.
I think the correct term is boobs.
Okay,
Well,
so
Ian and Chris are going to murder you now. Yeah. Overweight
no,
pilots
no,
unite.
this is between you guys. This ain't between any of us. Okay, it says the focus is transportation. So, isn't I think some of the things I've heard about this thing is that it can actually be turned into a gunship, or at least it can be a gunboat or something like that.
Well, the way the cargo pods are for it is they're modular. That runs along the spine of the ship. They're all modular, so you can have one as a medical bay, one as a troop storage, one as a repair. It just goes on and on.
Yeah.
I was going to say I've heard they'd turned it into something more along the lines of the Endeavour and sort of given up on the gunship idea, actually. With the option of electronics and stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be, but I think just like most of the other Drake interplanetary stuff, I think because it's technically a pirate ship, it's going to be very useful for multiple things. Because I think from the Cutlass we've seen as well, there's lots of different Cutlass variants. But seeing as we don't have Caterpillar variants, I think it's mostly the modularity of the ship, which is going to allow it to perform the roles which a pirate might need. So, as I think the reason why Drake ships are so modular is because pirates might need to interchange it out every kind of other day, or kind of every other bit of work they need to do. So that's maybe why.
You gotta put your pinky out.
Yeah, your pinky needs to be out. There we go. There we go.
Having some coffee out of a Winnie the Pooh cup.
The pirate needs to have the most modularity of anything, right? Because they need the one-stop shop. You gotta show up, neutralize your opponent, take what they have, destroy what's maybe there, or maybe salvage some of what they have. You know what I mean? So, that would explain why it serves them most, if any reason.
Yeah. I must admit, like, the pirate ships kind of interest me because the Cutlass. They've actually released, obviously, the search and rescue variant of the Cutlass, which I think is a bit strange, and I think it could be used for some quite nefarious things, the search and rescue, which will be quite fun to watch. The Caterpillar, I think, would be interesting because you might not actually be able to tell what type of module it's using. So you could have the transportation, you could have a hull full of nasty outlaws with lots of big guns.
Well,
So
don't forget the unit which fires people.
yeah.
They've actually got a boarding.
They've
lot
actually
that
got
fires people.
a module that fires people at ships.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's amazing. That is awesome. I think the Iadris
Just
needs.
load me up, boys.
I think the Iadris needs something like that as well, like a torpedo module. We can just
The-
load people into the torpedoes and
My
fire them
interest
at ships.
is going to require windscreen wipers. I'm just going to be sitting there scraping pirates off the front of it.
Why do you think they're going to be launching pirates at you?
Yeah, they'll run out of ammunition. I'll just be sat there scraping their cabin boy off the butt.
You mean you're going to run out of ammunition and be like, Harrison, I need you to do me a favour, okay?
Remember that one time when I brought that,
At band
woman
camp?
onto the ship?
Yeah.
I need you to repay that favor. Just hop into this,
Harrison, hold on to this.
Just get in.
It's like, Harrison, this vest full of C4 will serve you well.
Taking a look at the hardpoints overview, I'm actually surprised that has 4 size 4s. I mean, like, even the recent freaking Gemini, that's got like 2 size 4s. So for the Caterpillar to have 4 size 4s is pretty incredible. I mean, I think it's going to have some serious firepower, and that's just gimbal mounts. Then they've got an unmanned and a pylon mount, so that's a lot of firepower for a ship like that. So, I mean, is it going to be like a frontline combat ship, or is that just to like warn people don't come near us?
I think it's more anti-fighter. Also.
Yeah, I mean, is a ship like this really going to be able to like turn and like shoot at fighters though?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think it'll work well in a formation if you're attacking a cargo ship or something.
Possibly.
But I don't think it's going to survive a wave of gladiators attacking it. So
No.
Or a redeemer.
Redeemer
No,
kills
it
all.
will stomp thousands of redeemers, and redeemer pirates will cry and lament their appalling psychopathic choices in life.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the tech design they showed of it, they showed that the sides of it actually would be able to open up on the Caterpillar, right? The boxes or whatever, that would open the sides, like a workshop platform and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting aspect, because if you could manage it properly, you could almost use that as like a semi fly through like shop, like one-stop shop for your ships, or for if you're doing a boarding party thing, you could fly in a troop transporter, set them down like the Freelancer, set down, guys run in the back of it, takes off, flies out the other end. You know what I mean?
They were even talking about using these as markets.
Right.
I think that was the Banu Merchantman, actually.
No. They were talking about this as well, being used as a market
really?
as well. Yeah.
It could actually be used as
Yeah,
a
you're
market.
right about the Banu Merchantman, but they were also talking about
That's
this.
kind of the point of the merchantman, isn't it? To be a market. So, yeah, I mean, I think again that just kind of speaks to the whole Drake interplanetary modularity, really. I think these ships are going to be the most modular out of them all, like the Drake interplanetary ships. So, it could be useful to people who are just not pirates either, who just want to make a decent living, to say the truth. So, they could be quite nice, cheap, affordable ships. I mean, it also has a size 5 shield, so I mean, it's able to take a reasonable battering as well. But then I think, I think the Starfarer Gemini also has a size 5, I think. Am I correct here?
I think they've changed the shield since they last updated.
Yeah, because it's all going to be multiple shield generators now and stuff. So
Oh, right. Okay.
it's all completely out the window.
If we look at this, then I guess the Caterpillar could have maybe 5 size 1s. Or maybe 4 size 2s.
Well, they're not sized. They're small, medium, large. Capital.
Oh, so they're not sized anymore. They're just... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. But how is that going to work with the Vanguard then, seeing as the Vanguard's meant to have multiple small shields?
It could have up to 4 shield generators.
Okay.
4 small.
I'm so confused right now.
I don't think the Caterpillar's a very sexy
I
ship.
want the Vanguard to be amazing.
You think it's a sexy ship, or you don't think it's a sexy ship, sorry?
I don't. It's not very sexy.
It's not.
It's a blocky ship.
Yeah. It's. I think it's meant to be that way. If you take a look at the other Drake interplanetary ships like the Cutlass, very blocky.
If you land the Caterpillar, you dock the Caterpillar to some space station, there's not going to be a whole lot of good-looking chicks lining up to see who gets off the Caterpillar.
Whereas a Redeemer will get all of the pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it might have the hepatitis or the but yeah, I'm sure they'll be lining up.
Yar the salt.
Yeah.
So much salt, me lad. No, it's...
Alas, the Art-Roy will be docking at this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's max crew, or at least, I guess, normal, I would say, minimum crew, 5-person crew. What that would be, pilot, engineering, gunners, and...
Cabin boy.
Cabin boy. There at least needs to be one cabin boy in every ship.
Even in the single-seaters.
Even in the single... Just hanging on to the wing. Yeah.
I think on that 890 jump luxury touring thing, there'll be at least 5 cabin boys.
At least.
All in the same bedroom. And it's a single bed. You know what they say in cabin boys and beds, right?
No. I don't want to know.
Only the captain uses the bed. And the
hell.
captain
Harris, going out of an airlock. Hashtag confirmed.
Airlocking. That's going to be amazing when that happens.
That fun new game.
Floating.
Yeah, they'll just be flying into the distance. That'd be great. And what you do beforehand is you rip off their emergency beacon as well, so they can never be found.
True
Poke a
Maroni.
hole in their EVA suit too.
Yeah. You just put the tiniest needle prick in it. So it's
No.
yeah.
Why
Oh,
did I
you guys are
spend-
such bastards.
I have to question where I'm going to find this money to give Harrison an EVA suit in the Outlaws budget. I really do.
Like, you not gonna have money? Because if you don't have money to give him an EVA suit, you're not gonna have money for ammunition.
No,
Or
it's just
NPC
my-
crew.
Or NPC grow.
The Harrison budget will be significantly smaller than the torpedo budget.
I thought I
Or
am
the soul.
torpedo.
No, like...
Can't you just launch him as a torpedo?
I was considering that
Just
after a
strap
film
C4 to
chat,
him with duct tape. Yeah.
I thought if I got some phosphorus grenades, stuck them on his back and threw him out the airlock, it might work as an effective chat.
As a missile decoy. I can see it now.
Harrison, the human decoy. I can see it.
It's cheap.
I don't know. I don't think his hair would be very aerodynamic.
Lay off the hair, alright?
Maybe it will confuse the missile systems.
They'll be like, oh my god, what the hell is that? And it will turn back and blow up the ship it was launched from.
It's a trill.
Oh god, it's going to start breeding rapidly.
On a stick.
Burn it with fire. Is this the reason the Vandal are invading?
Harrison. Yeah.
They're out to wipe out
No,
I've
no.
collected all of their
we've
baby
already-
legs in my hair.
We've already designated that British tea, is the reason the Vandal are invading.
They can't get enough of it. Good old British tea. That's what
I'm not
it
bloody
is.
surprised.
It's a PC tip missile.
Yeah.
PG tips.
And they use Yorkshire
I
tea as
say.
their decoys.
I say, don't you think that missile's looking a bit,
Arm the crumpets.
The crumpets. Load in the scones,
Jenkins,
Watson.
fetch me my walking stick.
Let's go. What do we think its roles are going to be in the verse then, people? What do you think it's going to do?
Cargo transportation. Transportating.
Transportation of prostitutes.
I think it's going to be one of those ships that's just going to have so many roles.
Including prostitute transportation.
You name it, floating brothel.
It's one of those ships that could be just as dangerous as it could be
Yep.
Benign.
Benign, yeah. Because it's one of those that it could just be a cargo transporter, right? It could just have goods of, art or something that's moving from point A to point B. But it could also be filled with millions of gallons of something really explosive and just kind of be there as bait. You know what I mean? That one thing that you kind of go, oh, yeah, could be Guinness. Could be a boatload of drunk.
Could be salt
Ship-
to
ship.
resupply Monty's Idris. Yeah.
It could be empty.
You can just see a constant stream of these fucking things just coming through.
Monty's salt
Every 5 minutes,
delivery.
boys, slow down. Full halt.
I-
There's another
I
boat
think
of
a
salt coming in, lads.
I was going to say, I thought the Retribution class Super Dreadnought might be better capable of transporting more wide quantities of salt.
Does it have a retribution class just for your salt storage?
Yeah, it's the Retribution Salt class. It's the most devastating weapon in the universe.
Just fires salt at people.
It hits their ship
No,
and then
it
it
actually-
shoots
it's-
everything. It just goes. All you can see, the texture
Any-
of it is Rory's face and a speech bubble saying, "Your shit, your shit, your shit, your shit." You saw.
So,
It doesn't actually have a weapon that fires. When it moves into a system, it absorbs all of the H2O in the entire system through just the pure salt concentration within it.
Right. So
It's actually these handle are coming in that direction. About the two, we're not quite sure.
I expect to see this ship in game in 5 months.
Exactly.
5 months. That's what I'm
Is
putting
anyone going to hold you to
Somebody,
this?
somebody want to write that down? I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's going to be up
I'm
within
writing that
5
down.
months.
I'm writing that down. And we're holding this, you
Yeah.
to this,
So
by the way.
August. Are we going to say August?
August. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
I
so...
say July.
So, alright, so Harrison's doing July. Alright, no, I'm writing this down. Okay, this is important.
Alright.
Okay, so Harrison is July. The
I'm
caterpillar.
going to say June now.
Okay, so you're... Monty's saying June.
Yeah.
And Hooch said August. That's my birthday date, by the way. If any of you
Now,
want to send me a present.
when you say you see this, what do you mean by that? You mean like
I think
it's
it'll be
in-game
in-game.
flyable or in-hang?
Yep. In-game flyable by August.
Okay, what do you think, Moose?
Well, in the RTV, didn't they say that it
They
was
were
being
working on
worked
it.
on by 3 guys, right?
Mhm.
So Gurmak, and then the
Yeah, Gurmak
animations guy.
Yeah.
Put me down for September. 'cause they're
September?
never on time.
Okay.
So if there's 3
Quinn is
guys,
September.
3 guys working on this thing, I could see it being done probably.
Any time this year, Moose, would be great.
Does it have to be this year?
No, I'm just the decision making right now.
The answer.
I'll go July.
But there's 3
Alright,
people working on it now until one of them pisses the other one off. Then it'll be 2 working on it.
Okay, I'm gonna say December.
Wow.
December.
Oh, that's the late one.
It is. It's end of year,
Oh, my-
just after Squadron 42. Okay,
So what's the
42.
prize?
42. The prize.
Let's have a look.
You
I'm just gonna
don't.
check on the
Okay, right.
website.
When the Iadris first gets introduced, you don't get thrown out of the airlock into the sun. Okay, are we all up for this? Are we all ready for our
No.
first
I'm
character
getting
to
fucking
die?
thrown out anyway.
No, right. If you win, Monty must promise to
Yeah, it
never
does
airlock
after
you
Paris.
again. No, it does. You have to say you're never going to airlock him. Okay? Okay,
You
like,
guys, this is
Monty,
going to
there
result
is
in
a
you
massive
fucking
chance that
shit.
Harrison may not win. Okay?
Right, should we just put the prizes we all send to whoever wins a $10 gift card or something?
But is
then
there
it would be-
anything you can buy with $10 in the Star Citizen? Okay,
but
Well, if
what-
everyone
what
sends him
percent-
$10, he can place his Adam and Eve order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, let's make it, okay? So when the Idris does first come out, you don't get airlocked into the sun, so you don't lose your first character to airlocking. Are we all okay with
No,
this?
I feel that prize is...
No? Is everyone right, everyone vote. Aye.
I'm
Aye.
good.
Hey, whatever.
Aye.
Yeah, I'm good.
Moose, are you raising your hand?
I can't vote.
Yes you can, Moose. Stop,
Nope.
don't be the middleman.
I
Vote.
can't.
Is
I,
that?
I legally cannot,
Why can't you vote?
because I am of the
Look.
Admiralship.
I've
Cannot show favor.
I've put a better suggestion in.
Okay, no, it's 4 out of 2. Monty, you're outvoted. Okay.
I'm still going to have Harrison airlock.
No. You can't go against the rules, Monty. You can't do this. Okay.
Fine, I'll throw him
4
out
to
the
2.
front of the Idris's hangar.
4 to 2. Okay, you're
Should have
outvoted.
stipulated I still have 2 very big doors.
No, it does. You can't airlock him at all.
I won't airlock him.
Rory, just say accidents happen.
I don't think it's good to brag about how big your door is.
Oh, good.
Blimey. Okay, so that's pretty much
I
been the
see.
that's pretty much been the ship of the week, and what an amazing part of the show that was. Don't we all love that part? The next part of the show is a engine cooldown. This is the part of the show where we discuss what we would like to see happen in Star Citizen over the next week. and generally just the future of Star Citizen. So why don't we start off with Quinn? What would you like to see happen in Star Citizen over the next week and in the foreseeable future?
With the game itself, I don't know. I'd like to see more of us getting together and starting out, getting used to some of the roles we're going to be doing.
Okay, awesome. That's pretty cool. What about you, Hooch? What would you like to see?
I don't think we're going to see 2.3 for 2 weeks. And I think because they're working on 2.3, we're not going to see 2.2.4.
Why are we not going to get 2.3 for the next 2 weeks?
They're just going to skip it and go right to 2.3.
I think they're going to go to 2.69 next.
Boy,
In-game voice comms.
Yeah, 2.3 is already in PTU, which means it's already coming next. But I think it's going to take about 2 weeks to get
yeah, that's what I was asking. Why is it going to take 2 weeks?
Yeah. Just what they're going to decide to put in. There are going to be a lot of iterations of 2.3 A, B, C, as they normally do, and it's going to take 2 weeks.
Okay, all right.
That's DOS.
Dos.
What about you, Oakley? What would you like to see?
What would I like to see?
Yeah.
I would like at least a nice week without a fucking update.
You might be in luck.
Yeah.
I
If
really hope that.
If what Hooch said is true, then you'll be okay.
Well, then everything Hooch says from now on, I'm with, as long as it benefits me.
Holy shit! I would never.
I wouldn't even do that.
No way, dude.
No.
I'm
That's really bad.
I think you've just signed your soul away to the devil there. So good job, Harrison.
Oh,
You're now internally doomed. Moose, what would you like to see in the foreseeable future?
Foreseeable future, I'd like to see the completion of the org.
If you say the game, do not say the game. Do not say the fucking game, Moose.
I said the org commercial.
Okay. Alright. I let you off. Moose. Because that would be so... I'm not even going to ask Monty. Because he's going to say the completion of the game. I know he is. Just to spite me.
Curtis,
Yes.
I think you just lost the game.
Shit. Technically, we've all lost the game now.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Monty, what would you like to see in the foreseeable future?
I was so far away from that.
Personally, I'd like to see the crossbow that you got a few back says Satan.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that for? Was that
small-
for...
It was a random RPG that wasn't very good, and if you backed it in that game, you got a Vandal pole-on, which they gave you about 2 weeks after the thing happened, but the Star Citizen one, I've been waiting about a year at this point to get a crossbow.
Yeah, that could be something that would be kind of nice and if they just spawn in and it's in their room, that would be pretty cool for people to get. Yeah, I mean also has everyone seen the Andy Serkis behind the scenes thing for Squadron 4? That is fucking awesome. That is
Vandal
so
Great
good.
T confirmed.
Yep.
Yeah, the real reason.
Yep. Good old Andy Serkis. Yeah, if nobody else has watched that, I would seriously recommend watching that. It's freaking amazing.
Also, the Vandal of bioluminescence with the Vandal.
Yes, I guess that means there's some sort of fish.
Means they cannot hide in the dark.
No, they can't. Yeah, oh my god, that's gonna be terrifying. You're gonna go into a really dark, blacked out freaking space station, and you're gonna see glowing eyes.
Damn! Oakley looks like he just had a stroke when he was pulling that face.
Maybe he did.
It did.
Do you smell burning toast?
Hold up.
What? I think he just spoke Vandal then.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, that's freaking awesome. My hope for next week, I'm hoping that, there's not that many updates. I do hope 2.3 doesn't take 2 fucking weeks. but I'm hoping it's not another update next week because I didn't even get around to playing 2.2.
Remember, Curtis, it's a Star Citizen update, so the time it's going to arrive is soon.
TM.
Trademark.
Yeah. It's costing them tons of money to update it like every week though. So I hope they kind of just
Good thing they've got tons of money, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
boy, us sad fuckers.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much been the episode. So thank you very much for tuning in to the Reservist on this fine day, morning or evening, wherever you are. We will see you next week on the Reservist, where Navy talks every Saturday at 2100 GMT. Is it now 4 o'clock Eastern Standard?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard. And what would that make it? Central? Would that be?
No, sorry, it was 4 Central.
4
Because
Central.
we moved forward, yeah. So
Okay.
it's 5 East.
2100 GMT.
Civilized time.
1700 East.
Yes.
Yep, and then 1600 Central.
Until your clocks go forward.
Until our clocks get forward. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Bye bye.